hope you all had a good weekend. Good day and welcome to another edition of Citizens Movement Radio News. Today is Monday, 3 November 2025. I'm Bernard Chele, ready to bring you the latest news and updates. Here are today's headlines on Citizens Movement Radio News. SADC report condemns Tanzania's elections. There will be change in Zimbabwe, declares Advocate Chamisa. 2 years on, Honorable Ngadzore seeks justice over abduction. Now let's delve into the detailed stories. The SADC Electoral Observer Mission COMIS issued a scathing preliminary report on the Tanzania election, which saw President Samia Suluhu Hassan declared the winner with 98% of the vote. In the report, Head of Mission Richard Msowoya stated that the election failed to meet SADC's principles and guidelines governing democratic elections. This marks the second time in 2 years that SADC has condemned elections in one of its member states, following its criticism of Zimbabwe's 2023 polls. Our CMR reporter gives us more details.
The preliminary statement on the 2025 Tanzanian general election included the following key issues: intimidation and uneven political environment, reports of abductions and arrests of opposition activists and leaders, including Tundu Lissu of Chadema and Luhaga Mpina of ACT Wazalendo. Opposition members' disqualifications created an uneven playing field and discouraged participation. Some stakeholders said the calm environment was as a result of covert intimidation and fear, not peace. Restrictions on electoral justice. The Constitution bars courts from challenging presidential election results, and also the Constitution prevents courts from reviewing the Electoral Commission's actions. Both provisions block transparency, accountability, and judicial recourse, which contradict SADC democratic principles. Compromised independence of the Electoral Commission. The president, who is also the ruling party chairperson and a presidential candidate, appoints the election commissioners, raising doubts about their independence. Internet shutdown and information blackout. The internet was cut off on election day, halting communication and preventing SEOM from gathering or transmitting data on polling, counting, and closing processes. Harassment of observers. SEOM observers were interrogated by security forces, had passports temporarily searched, and were forced to delete photographs in Tanga. Accreditation delays and missing introduction letters hindered their work. Media censorship and lack of freedom of expression. Censorship of online platforms and restrictions on media freedom were reported. State-owned media overwhelmingly favored the ruling party, while private media self-censored out of fear of losing licenses. Low voter turnout and suspicious voting practices. The mission recorded very low turnout across polling stations. Some ballot boxes showed multiple stacked ballots, suggesting possible ballot stuffing. Gender and youth marginalization. Only 3 of 17 presidential candidates were women. Women and youth faced cultural, financial, and institutional barriers to meaningful participation. Exclusion of civil society and voter education groups. Some established goals were denied accreditation for voter education. Funding reductions and late accreditation announcements hurt civic education quality. Security overreach. Heavy police presence, particularly in Dar es Salaam, sometimes outnumbered voters. Reports of police firing guns in several regions, like Mbeya, Dodoma, Arusha, and Dar es Salaam. Constitutional limitation on independent candidates. Laws prevent citizens who are not affiliated with political parties from running for office. restricting political choice and freedom of association. Domestic observers largely absent. SEOM noted a lack of local election observers in most polling stations. Delayed report publication. SEOM could not issue its statement within the usual 2 days due to security and communication challenges, underscoring the tense and repressive environment. In conclusion, the SEOM determined that voters could not freely express their domestic will and that the 2025 Tanzanian elections fell short of SADC principles and guidelines governing democratic elections. The observation team was led by the Right Honorable Richard Musowoya, former Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Malawi. This is Lenton Mwanaka reporting for Citizen Movement Radio, CMR.
Citizens President Advocate Nelson Chamisa has declared that there will soon be change in the country despite ZANU-PF dictatorship. Posting on his social media platforms, Advocate Chamisa declared that Zimbabwe will be a land of accountability and responsibility under his government. He added that the country will reclaim its place among prosperous nations of the world. Meanwhile, Kariba MP Honorable Shine Gwangwaba has said the country has the potential to have one of the best economies in the world if corruption is arrested. In a sad story, 2 years after his abduction on 1 November 2023, Harare Youth Quota MP Honorable Takudzwa Ngadzore is seeking justice from the state. Speaking to Citizens Movement Radio, Honorable Ngadzore said he is concerned that 2 years after his abduction, there is still no progress about police investigations on his abduction case, despite some of the individuals involved having been correctly identified by members of the public. He also called for justice over the case of Bishop Tafumani Masaya, who was found murdered a week after his abduction. Back to our story on Tanzania, President Samia Suluhu Hassan was sworn into office today in Dodoma after being declared the winner with 98% of the vote. The election was marred by widespread protests, reports of hundreds of citizens killed by state agents, and shutdowns of the internet and electricity to prevent the sharing of information. The process was condemned by SADC, the EU, and other observers. Despite this, the African Union was quick to congratulate President Suluhu. In an unexpected development, South Africa's ruling ANC distanced itself from the polls, saying its observers were unable to monitor the election due to communication blackouts. ZANU-PF dictator Emmerson Mnangagwa has congratulated Tanzania dictator Samia Suluhu Hassan on her re-election as president of the country. Despite controversy surrounding a win, former MP Folo Bengula Magwego Honorable Eric Gono said it is not surprising to see Mnangagwa being one of the first African presidents to congratulate President Suluhu because Mnangagwa himself does not believe in free and fair elections. Let's hear Gono speaking.
It's not surprising at all that ZANU-PF and its dictator leader, Mr. Mnangagwa, do not see anything wrong with what happens in Tanzania. In their heads, it is possible that a person can get 98% of the vote in a presidential election. They don't see anything absurd about that, and they don't see anything absurd when citizens, majority of them, take to the streets to protest after an election. In their heads, they think that people can actually vote for you, and straight from voting for you, go and protest against you. They think it's possible. It makes sense to them. This is why it makes sense for them to see Zimbabweans suffering like this, and they see it as normal. This is why they see it as normal to give comedians vehicles and all sorts of goodies when the public servants are suffering. It's normal to them. That's the type of people that we have in this country. It's normal. If you go on social media, and you will see all ZANU-PF people, they're busy celebrating the massacre of the public in Tanzania by a dictator who is so afraid of her people that she even wants to be inaugurated in a military barrack because she can't face the citizens. But to ZANU-PF, that's very normal. That's the tragedy that we face as the people of Zimbabwe.
In a worrying development, Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema attended Samia Suluhu Hassan's inauguration. The move has left citizens across Southern Africa saying Hichilema has sold his soul to the devil for attending the ceremony, especially when there are ongoing protests against Suluhu that has left hundreds of citizens killed and many missing. Hichilema was once seen a liberator after he refused to accept Mr. Mnangagwa winning the elections in Zimbabwe in 2023. We spoke to citizens to hear their views on Hichilema attending the shame inauguration.
As a citizen of Southern African Development Community, SADC, we are very disappointed about the move of President of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, for attending the inauguration for President of Tanzania. Really, we are very disappointed because we as a region, we respect President Hakainde Hichilema, especially for when he was elected as a president of Zambia in a democratic way. So we are very disappointed about Hakainde for Hakaine's action, because if you look at the election in Tanzania, election was not free and fair, and the opposite political parties, they arrested some of them in prison, and at the end of the day, you see the other president of other nation going to attend the inauguration of a fake election. If you look the Tanzanian election, it seems like the election which was conducted in Zimbabwe in 2023 zvakangofanana, because vamunangagwa ndozvavakangoitawo futi. Vamunangagwa vakangobawo maelection and shamwari dzavo dzakaendawo kuti kunovainaugurata vana vaRamaphosa. So zvaakuenderera musadhaki kuti anojidzana newe ndiani musadhaki, uri kujidzana nani musadhaki. And sadhaki kuiona kwatinoita isisi is like a group of thugs. Sadhaki, all leaders in sadhaki, that group of thugs, criminals, because you just have a look, the people of Tanzania, they are fighting for stolen election, for banning other opposition to participate in the election. But the same president of Zambia, he went there to attend the inauguration. For what reason? Vana vemu Tanzania vakapopota, vakapisa, vakarovana chirovana vachirwira my-election ari free and fair. The same applies zvakaita kuZimbabwe. Vanhu vairwa, and Hakainde Hichilema, he never attended the inauguration for Mnangagwa. Akati my-election, it was not free and fair, because zvasiyana papi neakaitwa kuTanzania. So sadhaki rangova gungano revanhu vanozivana kana kuti rembavha dzinobira nyika dzadzinomiririra, asi hakuchisina kumiririra zvido zvemuregini. Ndo zvakamirira akaita sadhaki, hakuchisina kumiririra zvido zvevanhu vemuregini. Tese vanhu vemuregini we are disappointed neutungamiri huri musadhaki. And iko zvinezvi makazvitarisa musadhaki havachaenda zviye zvokuti kana munhu akaelektwa vanoenda vese vari mahead of states ese ari 14 or 15 members. Havachakwanisa kuzviita izvozvo, pakungoenda vanhu 2 kana 3. Inyaya yekuti sadhaki haichisina kusimba like zvainga iri kudhara. Sadhaki yangu wabato riya rokuti rakutonyadzisa kana kungotovatumira maobserver esadhaki kupedza nguva, because vanhu tinenge chitongoziva kuti obviously sadhaki inotongouya yakarerekera kubato rinenge richitonga. Thank you very much.
Hello, champions. Hello, citizens. Tony Shawa here. Yeah, well, it is quite disturbing. It is quite disturbing. It is sad news indeed, what we've heard, that President Hichilema of Zambia has gone to the official inauguration of the president-elect of Tanzania, Mrs. Samia Suluhu. Well, what makes it a sad development is the fact that we have seen Hichilema standing as a as a democratic person, especially in relation to the election that happened in Zimbabwe in 2023. He even refused to come to the inauguration of President Emerson Mnangagwa, and we heard him how he condemned that election as a sham election, though nothing was really done after that to follow up on that flawed election. But now we see the same man. He has gone to Tanzania to congratulate a woman who came into power through a bloodbath. That's what we would say. 800 people dying within 2 days. This is not a country that is at a time of a war. This was supposed to be a peaceful protest, and they came with live ammunition and killed people. Some people have lost their beloved ones. They've lost their parents. Some have lost their brothers. Some have lost their sons. Some have lost their sisters. Some have been displaced. And we hear that Samia has won with a resounding 98%. When the other opposition leaders were actually in prison, I don't know whom she was competing with. So it's quite very unfortunate that Mr. Chilema has decided to join the bandwagon of the corrupt presidents of Southern Africa, of SADC. Southern Africa has been in chaos of late. We've seen the chaotic election in Zimbabwe. We've seen the chaotic election in Mozambique. We've seen the chaos that has just happened in Madagascar, and now this is Tanzania. We've seen chaos happening in Kenya. All these things happening, and this is happening at the watch of SADC. And it is people like Ichilema that we were still counting on, that at least we've got somebody who's democratic enough to withstand and maybe start leading SADC into a better way. But unfortunately, this is what has happened. Some, they say that he's doing it for diplomatic reasons. But what is diplomacy when we are losing 800 people in 2 days? It doesn't make any sense. Thank you.
Opposition youth leader Bruce Moyo has called on the youth to resist Emerson Mnangagwa's plot to hang on to power beyond his constitutional term limit. Posting on X today, Moyo said youths must lead the charge against any attempts to violate the constitution to allow Mnangagwa to stay in power beyond 2030. Moyo's call comes at a time when youth in other countries like Madagascar, Kenya, and Tanzania are leading demonstrations against authoritarianism. Opposition official Stephen Sarkozy Chuma has called for citizens to fight ZANU-PF's so-called 2030 agenda tooth and nail. Chuma said it would be suicidal for citizens to allow ZANU-PF dictator Emerson Mnangagwa to violate the constitution in pursuit of life presidents. He said the masses' duty is to stop what he says is one of the darkest eras in the country's history. Chuma said.
Yes, of course, it is going to be suicidal, not only for this generation, but for generations to come. If this current generation allows Emerson Mnangagwa to get away with his plans to violate the constitution and extend his iron fist rule beyond the 2028. So we call upon every progressive Zimbabwean to unite and call for an end to Emerson Mnangagwa's iron fist rule. We cannot have 2 more years of Emerson Mnangagwa's rule when the majority of our people do not have clean and safe running water. We cannot have Mnangagwa up to 2030 when our people are living in darkness because the government of the day is failing to provide electricity. We cannot have Emerson Mnangagwa up to 2030, when the majority of our people are surviving on less than $1 per day, when the majority of our people are sleeping on empty bellies because they cannot afford to put food on the table. So this is a clarion call to all progressive Zimbabweans to unite and speak with one voice against the so-called 2030 agenda.
Yesterday was the International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists. To mark the day, Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA Harare chairperson Mlondolozi Ndlovu has urged the state to drop charges against journalists like Faith Zava and Blessed Mhlanga, who are facing persecution by prosecution for doing their work. Let's hear Ndlovu speaking.
Yes, indeed. Yesterday was the day to end impunity for crimes against journalists. We continue to urge the state to drop charges against journalists like Faith Zaba and Blessed Mhlanga, because we believe that journalism is not a crime and they were arrested merely for conducting their work. And we believe that journalists' rights must be respected as per the dictates of Section 61 of our Constitution, which provides for the freedom of expression and the right of the media, and also which provides and protects journalists' confidentiality to the sources of to their sources. So we believe that the continued the continued state of where these two continue to be in and out of court does not sit well with principles of justice, because a journalist, when they are doing their work, they are doing it for the good of the nation, and no one has the right to arrest them or to detain them. So we continue to urge the state to drop charges against the two.
Popular activist Madzibaba Shanduko, whose real name is Godfrey Karembera, was back in court today for bail hearing. The matter was postponed again to Wednesday, the 5th of November. Madzibaba Shanduko is facing charges of inciting public violence for allegedly distributing flyers before the 17 October 2025 protests. Prophetic Healing and Deliverance Ministries founder Walter Magaya appeared in court today following his arrest on Saturday on allegations of rape and fraud charges. Magaya is in the past questioned by the police of rape allegations, but the case did not proceed to prosecution. Meanwhile, women rights groups have called for thorough investigations into the matter, saying if found guilty, the cleric must face a stiff penalty. A Soto family in Jepstone, South Africa is mourning the tragic loss of their 5-year-old daughter, who was found dead this morning. According to reports, the child was sexually assaulted by a family member before being murdered. Police investigations are ongoing to identify and arrest the perpetrator. Authorities and community leaders are urging parents to remain vigilant and closely monitor their children to prevent such tragic incidents. Now let's take a look at our sports news on Citizens Movement Radio. Scotland are Casolaga Premier Soccer League champions after beating Kwekwe United 5-1 on Sunday to clinch the title with a game to spare. Here are results of all the matches played over the weekend. Dynamos 1, Bigita Minerals 0, Simba Bora 1, Highlanders 1, Chicken Inn 1, Capes United 1, Rentals 0, Yada 1. Manica Diamonds 1, Ngezi Platinum 0, Moors 1, Triangle United 0, Tail 1, Green Fuel 1, ZPC Kariba 1, FC Platinum 1. In the English Premier League, Arsenal opened a 6-point lead on the top after beating Burnley 2-0, and Manchester United moved into second after beating Bournemouth 3-1. Here are results of other matches played. West Ham 3, Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0, Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, Fulham 3, Wolves 0, Brighton 3, Leeds 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0. To conclude our Citizens Movement Radio News, here are the headlines once more. SADC report condemns Tanzania's elections. There will be change in Zimbabwe, declares Advocate Chamisa. 2 years on, Honorable Ngadzonge seeks justice over abduction. The news on CMRI English was brought to you by Bernard Stele. Me and the whole team wishes you all a wonderful evening. Good night to you all.